Okay, I'm continuing with every exam question that has ever been asked, and we are doing it on today on iteration. Okay, so if you want to use this document, like I always say, it is linked in the description. We're going to start just doing the ones that are on solving equations. We'll do the using a formula separately, as it feels like a kind of different set of questions that we've got here. Now, these are always going to come up in a calculator paper, and they often give you the formula to begin with. So it says, using xn plus 1 equals minus 2 minus 4 over xn squared with x naught equals minus 2.5. Find the values of x1, x2, and x3. Now, this formula, I'm not going to teach you exactly like how this was working. This is me just kind of going straight in with like a revision sort of practice on this. But the key thing to note is to find the next one, n plus 1, you have to use the previous one, which is why they've told us what x naught is. So to find out what x1 is equal to, you're going to copy this formula out. It would be minus 2 minus 4 over x naught all squared, which is going to be minus 2.5 squared. And I'm going to show you a trick for your calculator in just a second. So I'm going to type in minus 2 minus, oh, didn't mean to twist the minus. Let's start that again. Minus 2 subtract 4 over minus 2.5 squared. So that means that our value of x1 is minus 2.64. Now, to find out what x2 is, you repeat the same process, but instead of writing minus 2.5, you would write minus 2.64. So you would have to write minus 2 minus 4 over minus 2.64 squared, etc. But I'm going to show you a quicker way to do the whole of this thing that we've got here. So I'm going to very quickly come up with what x2 and what x3 are. Now, the way we're going to start this is I'm actually going to clear the calculator for a second. I'm going to store in my calculator minus 2.5 as my answer. So I'm going to write in minus 2.5, and I'm going to just press equals so it's stored in the calculator. I'm then going to type this whole formula that I've got, but when I see this, I'm going to press the answer button. So I'm going to type in minus 2 subtract 4 over the answer squared. We don't need the brackets that time, and you'll see how immediately it comes up with the answer minus 2.64. Now when I press equals, that minus 2.64 is going to be back in where the answer is, and it will give me the approximation, it will give me the answer for x2 and then x3. So if I press equals, if I press equals, I'm going to get minus 2.574, and that's to 3 decimal places. And if I press equals again, I get minus 2.604, and again that is to 3 decimal places. And in theory, if you wanted to find x4, you could keep pressing equals lots and lots of times to find the next ones. So I have done this one to 3 decimal places, and I've done this one to 3 decimal places as well. It says here to explain the relationship between the values of x1, x2 and x3 and the equation x cubed plus 2x squared plus 4. So we need to try and think how this thing and this thing are related to each other. Well, this thing is a rearranged version of this, and we don't actually even need to show that. So I'm going to say that the equation and the iterative formula are rearrangements. Which means x1, x2 and x3 are estimates for the solution to the equation. And you could practice this out. If you wanted to try and rearrange this to make this the subject, you're going to start subtracting the 4, subtracting the 2x squared, and then dividing everything by x squared, and you come up with that one that you've got at the top. So we have got these ones that we've got here. I think it probably would allow us, yeah, it just only wants it to 2 decimal places, maybe even 1 decimal place for the third one. But we actually had it correct to 3 decimal places. So it's the connection between the equation and the iterative form, i.e. it's a rearrangement, and so the iteration is an estimation of a solution. Okay, we're actually going to be doing some other bits now. So it says, show that the equation x cubed plus 7x minus 5 equals 0 has a solution between x equals 0 and x equals 1. So if x equals 0, we would get 0 plus 7x minus 5, so we would get 0 plus 0 minus 5, which is just equal to minus 5. And if x is equal to 1, we would get 1 cubed plus 7 times 1 minus 5, and 8 minus 5 is 3. So as there is a change in sign, there is a root or a solution. As there is a change in sign, I mean from negative 5 to positive 3, there is a solution. There is a solution between 0 and 1. Show that the equation can be rearranged to give this particular thing that we have here. So definitely the 5 is on the other side, and then dividing by an x squared plus 7. So let's begin by putting the 5 on the other side. And then I think there's going to be some kind of factorising. So if I do a factorise and I have an x squared plus 7, I'm then just going to say that x is equal to 5 over x squared plus 7. And this is the iterative formula. This is where you take an equation and you can rearrange it to give an iterative formula, which is what happened here. This equation was taken and rearranged to give this iterative formula. Then it says, starting with x naught equals 1, use the iteration formula, which we've just worked out, 3 times to find an estimate for the solution here. So we're going to try and find out what x1, what x2, and what x3 are equal to. And I'm going to set this up on my calculator. I'm going to write, first of all, I'm going to store in my calculator, I'm going to say that my answer is 1, and then I'm going to do 5 over answer squared plus 7, okay? So I'm going to store in my calculator that 1 is in the answer, and I'm going to do 5 over answer squared plus 7. And so my first one is 0.625. I'm going to press equals again, and so my next one is 0.677, and that's to 3 decimal places. And then my third time is I get 0.670, and again this is to 3 decimal places. So there is my estimate for that solution. It then says, by substituting your answer to part C into this equation, comment on the accuracy of your estimate for the solution. So I'm going to substitute that x equals 0.67. So I'm going to do 0.670 cubed plus 7 times 0.670 minus 5. So we're going to type in 0.670 cubed plus 7 times 0.670 minus 5, and oh, I didn't have a plus in there, I had a times, so that kind of threw me off. I get minus 0.009237, which is very close to 0, okay, which is very close to 0. So the accuracy of your estimate, so this is close to 0, so our estimate is quite accurate. But it's not perfect because it doesn't exactly equal 0. So let's see how they've phrased this. So first of all, we've got that it changes sign from minus 5 to 3. And then we have got the rearrangement. We've got our 0.6704. So they actually wanted it to 4 decimal places. So I might need to go back and change that one. Substitutes the answer into the expression and has an appropriate comment. It's accurate as the answer is close to 0. So actually I think they would have wanted these things to 4 decimal places. So I think if I just jump back, I'm just going to change it to 0.6704. So if I had all of these things with a 4 in, we get something. What did they have? Minus 0.00549, 0.0549. So they wouldn't have accepted that, which is interesting. So make sure that we don't do 3 decimal places. We might have to do more than that. We might have to do 4 decimal places. I'm surprised they didn't tell us what they wanted it to be to. Okay, this one, it says show that the equation has a solution between 1 and 2. So if x is equal to 1, we get 1 cubed plus 1, which is equal to 2, which is less than 7. And if x is equal to 2, we get 2 cubed plus 2, which is 8 plus 2, which is 10. And so here we can say 1 is below 7, the other above. So the solution is between 1 and 2. Okay, it then says show that it can be arranged to give this particular thing. Well, it looks pretty easy stage. We're going to do 7 minus x, and then we're going to cube root both sides, so we get the cube root of 7 minus x, and that's going to give us our iterative formula. Starting with x naught equals 2, use it 3 times to find an estimate, and I'm definitely going to give it to more decimal places than I did last time. So if x naught is 2, I'm going to be saying that my answer is 2, and I'm going to be typing the cube root of 7 minus the answer. So I'll have my x1, I'll have my x2, and I'll have my x3. So put 2 on the calculator, store it as the answer, and then I'm going to do the cube root of 7 minus the answer. And we get, for x1, 1.709975. I'll just do ... after my bit that didn't work last time. I'll press equals again. I get 1.742418. And I'll press equals one more time, and I get 1.738849. And it didn't ask for it to be rounded, so I'm actually just going to leave it like that. And we do get 1.738 to 1.74. That's exactly the range that we would be in as well. We knew how to do the rearranging, and we've said that the explanations that they are above or below 7. Okay, we've got another iteration formula, and they've said we're going to start with x naught equals 2. They want us to find x1, x2, and x3, and they've given us the formula. So again, I'm going to put the answer on my calculator as 2, and I'm going to be typing in the cube root of 10 minus 2 answer. So, store 2 as the answer, and I'm going to be doing the cube root of 10 minus 2 answer. I get 1.8171, press equals again, we get 1.85331, some ... and I'll use it one more time. I get 1.846265, and that's definitely enough that we've got there. It says the values of x1, x2, and x3 found in part A are estimates of the solution of an equation of the form ax cubed plus ax plus b equals 0, where a and b are integers. Find the value of a and the value of b. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to take this equation here, and I'm going to use it at the bottom to try and make a cubic. So I have that x equals the cube root of 10 minus 2x. I'm kind of doing the reverse process of what I've done in this part, where I've taken an equation and come up with an iterative formula. So I'm going to come up with this in reverse. I'm going to cube both sides, so I get x cubed equals 10 minus 2x. I'm then going to put it all on one side so that I get x cubed plus 2x minus 10 equals 0. So the value of a is 2, and the value of b is minus 10. So we get 2 and minus 10. So we did get this one correct, and we've got the 2 and minus 10 here as well. So apologies for earlier when I didn't do enough rounding, but I'm definitely doing enough decimals. Okay, I'm going to stop at this point, and I'm going to do the second half of this video, which is iteration for using a formula.